He prayed to his Father, Father, make this more, stretch this, make this so we have enough for these people. And then the Bible said, I just read it, said, he fed how many? He fed 5,000 men besides the women and children. He's a God of impossible possibility. There is nothing too hard for our God. But see, we want to put our God in a box. We want to put him in a box and say, well, look, this is too hard for God. That's too hard for God. This is too hard. He's a God of impossible possibilities. When things seem impossible to us, it's nothing for God. Yeah. And the Bible says, all things are what? Possible. It said, oh, did it say? It said some of the things. No. It said what? All things are possible through Jesus Christ. Yeah. All things are possible. He's a God of impossible possibility. Impossible possibility. There's nothing too hard for our God. But see, you got to believe and trust in him, though. You just can't say where there's nothing too hard for my God. You got to have faith. You got to trust him. You got to get his word to know that there's nothing too hard for our God. Yeah. See, the world don't know that, but we as Christians, we supposed to know that. We're supposed to know that there's nothing too hard for our God. So it doesn't matter who's in the White House. It doesn't matter how much egg it's going to cost. It doesn't matter how much food it's going to cost. He's a God of impossible possibilities. Yeah. Some of us work for the government. Some of us they got the emails, got the letters saying that you're gonna get fired, you don't come to work, or you don't take this buyout or anything. Don't worry about it, brothers and sisters. If you trust and believe in God that He can feed 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 barley loaves, then what? He's a God of impossible possibilities. So don't you worry, don't you fret. Everything is all right. God got you. Don't matter who's in the way. It don't matter what the second order is. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Because he's a God of impossible possibilities. Yeah. You got to believe that, and you got to get it down in you to know that there's nothing too hard for God. It said he fed 5,000. Y'all, come on. If we had 2 fish here, and we had 5, we even got 5, we couldn't even feed everybody that's in this room today. Come on, 2 fish. Okay, now you get a piece. Back, you get a piece. You get a piece. You get a piece. You get a piece. You get a piece of bread. And the rest of y'all, it says the pastor, the minister's supposed to eat first. But see, but God, He gave you a piece. He gave you a piece. He gave you a piece. He gave a quiet piece. He went out there and gave everybody else a piece. He went outside on 35th, gave everybody else a piece. He went down on 39th, gave everybody else a piece. He gave everybody else. And then it said, no. It said that what he had, 12 baskets left over.
Right.
Say it again. He had 12 baskets full left over. Each disciple had a whole. He's a God of impossible possibilities. See, what we got to get our thinking right in that. God, there's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing too hard for God. He's a God of impossible possibilities. If you believe in it and have faith. The 3 Hebrew boys. The God of impossible possibilities. We don't know the story. They refused to bow. And they heated up the furnace 7 times 7. And then once he heated up 7 times, the guards that was heating it up, it engulfed them and killed them. Now they standing there, come on. See, the 3 Hebrews are standing there watching this now. They're like, Lord have mercy. Come on, we're going to be next. They didn't turn around, they didn't get into hope. Say, Lord, what y'all want to do? Y'all think we need to bow down? If we bow down, everything's going to be all right. Then we won't be thrown into that fire. It's a God, he's a God of impossible possibility. Throw him in there. King gave that what he said. I never go 3, I see 4 in there. See, when you're going through the impossible possibility, you can always know. God said he'll never leave you and forsake you. He said he'll always be with you to the end of it. He said, even when you don't know that, he's a God of impossible possibility. What happened with the 3 Hebrew boys? They came out, they were burnt, they come with the smell of like fire, they ropes. Come on. He's a God of impossible possibility. Get that in your head. Get that in your heart. He's a God of impossible possibility. There's nothing too hard for our God. 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 There's There's nothing too hard for our God. There's nothing too hard for our God. Come on now. Come on, come on. Y'all know my testimony. Fired from my job for no reason. I didn't like, Lord, what happened? See, that's the problem. We going through these things that seems impossible. We always say, well, what I'm going to do? We need to say, God, what you going to do? He sees what we're going through. We can't be the problem because we say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't go home and tell my wife, I don't know what we going to do. We said this, Lord, you saw everything. You know what's going on. What you going to do? Come on. And then when you do that, you believe and have faith, then the impossible. The impossible happens. When things seems impossible, see, don't I keep saying seems impossible? Because there's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing impossible for our God. It seems impossible for Him. Nothing seems impossible for us, for God. But it seems impossible for us. Come on now, we can't go through. We celebrate Black History Month. We know we got people that have been through things. We got like Pastor Yard Williams Sr. Impossible possibility. Said that he came here on what? On the box cart? Tell me if I'm wrong, Pastor. Came here on top of a box cart. They had no money in his pocket. The pastor, he had a buffalo nickel in his pocket. Impossible possibility. But he came here because he believed and had faith. Look, you sit right here because of him. This church is going to end because of Pastor Yard Williams Sr. Come on now. Come on, he had faith, he believed in it. He believed that God can do the impossible. That what seems impossible to us is nothing to God. Pastor Yard Williams Jr., come on now. Saying that his teacher told him, his instructor told him, well, no, you don't need to go up to the board because that math practice is too hard for you. You ain't going to never be nothing. You ain't gonna. Then what happened? He wanted to get his degree, get his master's, get his doctorate. He's a mathematician. Come on, he done touch people. He the vice president of NIU. He done touch people. He done help people. Impossible possibility. We sitting here right now because of him. We don't have the young adults did their Black history, and that was great. But we got Black history right here in our church. Impossible possibility. Impossible possibility.
Uh-oh.
Impossible possibilities. Come on now. Come on. We had a. I digress just a little bit. We had a pandemic that affected the whole world. Come on. That affected all churches. That affected a lot of stuff. Impossible possibilities now. Impossible possibility. We still here, right? We in church right now, right? Impossible possibility. Our pastor was thrown, was thrust into being the pastor, was thrust into being over Pioneer Gardens and Pioneer Village and whatever else is in the camp and being thrust of being over this and part of a full-time job, full-time husband, full-time dad, full-time this, full-time that. Thrusted. Impossible possibility. The doors are still open. They've been cold. 90 years, the doors are still open. The church still open. Preaching to the pews when it was just him and his family. Preaching to the pews. Nobody would have said, well, Pastor, you know what? The doors of the church, well, that's all right. But the faith. See, E.L. Williams Sr., E.L. Williams Jr., Craig Williams Sr., faith. They believe. When things it seemed impossible to the church. Because we looking in like, what we going to do? The doors of the church going to close. We ain't got no tithes coming in. Ain't no money coming in. But the pastor was still there preaching every Sunday. The pastor was still here doing what he had to do. The pastor kept the doors of the church open. 90 years, y'all. 90 years the doors of South Park has been open. 90 years never been closed. 90 years the word been preached in the school. 90 years homegoing. 90 years. 90 years. No. See, y'all take that for granted. I said 90 years. Some churches closed during the pandemic. Some preachers wasn't even there during the pandemic. Some preachers gave up during the pandemic. Impossible possibilities. God is a God of impossible possibilities. No. God. He's just an awesome God. Impossible possibility. He promised Sarah and Abraham a baby, right? He had a baby, right? He promised him a baby, right? Impossible possibility. How many of y'all know 90-year-old woman that had a baby? How many of y'all know? And the husband is 100. How many of y'all know? Impossible possibility. There's nothing too hard for God. But see, you got to continue to have faith and believe and trust. Even when you don't see it, you still got to have faith and trust and believe. Even when y'all don't have what happen, you still got to have faith and believe and trust. He's a God of impossible possibility. There's nothing too hard for our God. There's nothing too hard for our God. You got to believe. You got to have faith. You got to trust in it. Trust in it. That's what our forefathers did. That's what our ancestors did. They trust and believe. When things was going wrong, they didn't give up. They had trust and believe that God was going to bring them through. They trust and believe. Even when they was Martin Luther King Jr., when he was spat on, when he was beaten, when he was dog sicked on him, when he was water hose, when he was just beaten and everything, he didn't give up. Because he knew about the impossible possibility. They just seemed impossible. Somebody gave up. A lot of people gave up along the way. But he didn't give up. Even when his life was in danger, he didn't give up. Even when people told him, well, Mark, we need to get some violence going on here, man. He didn't give up. The God of impossible possibility. And then as we go from, we stopped at 21, but then we go into Matthew 22, Matthew 14, 22, and he's talking about straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into the ship and go before him onto the other side, while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into the mountain apart to pray. And when the evening came, he was alone, praying with God, having some quiet time. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed by the waves when the winds encountered. And the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went on to them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him, they saw he was a ghost. They said, who is that? That a spirit of a ghost. And Jesus cried out to them, "It's me." But straightway Jesus spake unto them, "Be of good cheer. It is I am. Don't be afraid." And Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, bid me to come and walk. Bid me to come and walk on the water." God of impossible possibility. How many people y'all know that walked on water? Y'all know anybody who walked on water? Come on now. And Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, bid me to walk on water." Peter got out of the boat. He walked on water. Peter walked on water. The God of impossible possibility. He walked on water. And people say, yeah, but Peter faith. Peter faith. He looked at the winds, he looked at the waves, and he sung to God and said, you a little faith. But it was there more people in that boat that didn't walk out on there. There was other people on that boat that didn't step out on there. See, a lot of times, God not blessing us because we don't even ask. See? Peter looked and said, "Man, it's wild, it's raining, it's the waves and everything." And he said, "Lord, bless you, bid me to come." We look at our things that seem impossible. We don't even ask God to come into them. We don't even ask God to come into what seems impossible. We don't ask. Peter asked. The 11 was like, "No, we're not. No, man, we're not going out there. You can't walk on water, Peter. You're crazy." That's when things seem impossible. God does He's a God of impossible possibility. Peter walked on water. I don't care if it was for 5 seconds. He walked on water. Impossible possibility. We got to know that God is in control, but we got to have faith and believe and trust in Him that He can do what seems to be impossible to the world. See, the world is looking and saying, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. There's nothing too impossible for God. Young people, there's nothing too impossible for God. Young people, whatever goals you got, whatever dreams you got, whatever you want to major in, there's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing impossible for God. Don't let your teacher or anyone instruct you tell you what you can't be, what you can't do, what you can't. There's nothing too hard for God. He's the God of impossible possibility. Peter walked on water. Number 11 was scared. Walked on water. Yeah, the waves came, and God still reached down and picked him up. Oh, yeah. And still healed and still saved him. He did the same thing for us. He's a God of impossible possibility. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't worry about what the naysayers say. Don't worry about it. Be like the fishermen, when they fished all night, these professional fishermen, they fished all night. And Jesus said, do it on this side. They're like, man, we've been fishing all night. We did this, we know what we're doing, man. This is our livelihood. See, that's sometimes we get out. We want to think about our own thoughts. Our thoughts are not like God's thoughts. Come on, preacher. And see, if He's a God of possible possibilities, if you're gonna follow Him, you got to get out of your own head. Yeah. Because when God tells us, it doesn't make any sense to us. When He told Peter to walk the water, that didn't make any sense. When He fed the 5,000 with the 2 fish and 5 loaves, that didn't make any sense. When the 3 Hebrews stole into the fiery furnace, that didn't make any sense. When David fought Goliath, some man that's 9 feet tall and everything, and had the big club and everything, and David comes and said, that didn't make any sense. Because the king and his brothers like, no, man, you can't go out there. No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it if I was you. They're like, wait, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Who is this? Who is this threatening God's army? Impossible possibilities. Come on now. There's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing too hard for Him. You got to believe and trust that. You got to get it in your head. You got to get it in your head. The blind man, the man, he was blind from what? From birth. He was blind from birth. Jesus came and healed him. Come on now. And then they're going to say, well, who said the parents? He did it. No, nobody said. But see, I want y'all to understand. God sets us up sometimes when we're in trouble, so He can get the victory. He can get the glory for us to get the victory. Every situation in this Bible, God set up. So God knew the man was going to be blind from birth because He blinded him. He created him, so He blinded him from birth, so He can get the glory when the time came, so He can show the disciples and everyone else. Nobody else, nobody in this man was doing anything. Let me heal them. Impossible possibility. The woman with the issue of blood. 12 years. 12 years. She spent all the money. She went to all the doctors. Nobody could heal her. Her friends probably was like, yeah, girl, I don't know what you're going to do. I ain't got no money to give you. You spent all your money. We know how it is. Come on now. Let's keep it real. Come on. We get the wrong advice from someone. But then she heard about a man named Jesus. And she impossible possibility. She fought through the press. She fought through the people. And that's what we got to do. We got to learn how to fight. We got to learn how to press our way. We got to learn how to go through stuff. See, we as Christians, we think as we become Christians, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be perfect. We ain't going to never have no problem. Don't say that nowhere in the Bible. They said, I will never leave you for forsake. He said, I will be with you in the earth. He said, I'm always saying, He said, look to the hills will come with your help. All your help comes from God. He's a God of impossible possibilities. Don't give up. Don't give in. The lady with the issue of blood, she fought. She touched the hem of His garment. Instantly, she was healed. She was healed. A God of impossible possibilities. Come on. We got to know that if we just continue to believe and have faith in God, that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. Erica Waller, he's a God of impossible possibility. He got you. Believe and trust in Him. Mother Singleton, he's a God of impossible possibility. He's going to hear you. How's family? He's going to be all right. He's a God of impossible possibility. Everything is all right. Pastor Yard Williams Jr., He's a God of impossible possibility. I know what He can do. Body racking with pain, with COVID. Body racking with pain. Should be dead, shouldn't be here. Watching TV, watching them throwing bodies in coolers and stuff. I'm like, Lord, I got what they got. Lord, I got what they throwing. I'm like, Lord, I'm that time. Lord, I don't know what you're going to do. Lord, Jesus. Body hurt. Was isolated for 3 weeks. Only slept like 3 days out of the 3 weeks because I was scared to go to sleep because I didn't want to die. But then on the other hand, I'm telling God, well, my insurance paid up, Lord. Go ahead and take me. I'll be all right. But my family will be all right. But I'm scared to go to sleep. Body racking with pain. Laying on the ground. A wife and son coming in bringing me food. Got a cooler full of ginger ale and Gatorade and water and stuff. And they just sliding the food in there and stuff. Just sleeping on the floor. Didn't want to do it. Didn't want to move. You know, usually coming up in the church, you hear people say, yeah, my body racking with pain. My body was racking with pain. My body. I wanted to give up. I I wanted to give up. But God said, no. He said, I got you. All I could do was moan. That's all I could do was moan. Then that moan turned into singing. I got a feeling everything's going to be all right. I got a feeling. Yes, Lord. Yes. I got a feeling everything's going to be all right. He healed my body. Put a song back in my heart. That told me to stand up and run out. Yeah, don't tell me what God can do. Impossible possibility. See, y'all don't know unless you really have it like that. And you see this, you watch the TV, and you see people die from this. And they throw it in the cooler. And you say, no, that's going to be me now. The doctor tell you, don't come to the hospital, because if you do, I'm going to put you on the ventilator and you're surely going to die. Sending all my medicine to the house and inhalers and this. Got pneumonia and everything. Come on, man. He's a God of impossible possibility. Yeah. See, I know what he has done for me. I ain't telling you about something I read or somebody heard or somebody told me. I know what he has done for me in my life. I know what he's done for me. So I got a testimony. I got to tell the world what he's done. He's a God of impossible possibility. There's nothing too hard for our God. There's nothing too hard for our God. If you just believe and trust in him. Come on. Ain't that right, Miss Cows? What'd you say last week in Sunday school? Husband gone. She ain't missed a beat. All the bills getting paid. She eating every day. Everything. She ain't working there a lot. She ain't going to get no job or nothing. God is a God of impossible possibility. He's an awesome God. Just don't give up. Don't give in. And, I leave you with the word of our home Deacon Patty. Deacon Patty used to sing this song. He said, God specializes, and he will do what no other power can do. Have you any rivers that seem uncrossable? And have you any mountain that cannot tunnel through? God specializes in things thought impossible, and he will do what no other power, Holy Ghost power, can do. Have you ever been on your bed of affliction, and the doctors have done all they can do? But you heard somebody say, God specializes in healing all kinds of disease, and he will do the same. What no other doctor, no other physician can do. God specializes in the impossible. God specializes in the impossible. God specializes in the impossible. Send his only begotten God's son, Jesus, to die for us. God specializes in the impossible. Jesus came out of heaven, being made flesh, died for us on the old work cross. God specializes in the impossible. They stretched him wide, they nailed him to the cross. He didn't say a mumble the word. He said, God forgive them, for they know not what they do. Specializing in the impossible. They took him down. They put him in Joseph new tomb. He specialized in the impossible. But on that third day, it said what? It said on the third day, they went there to go see him. They said, yeah, he probably stinking now. We got to go in and put some stuff on him and everything. And we got to go see him and everything. But when the stone was rolled away, what happened? Was he there? Was he there? Was he there? God specialized in the impossible. Now, how many people you know that got up from the dead? He specialized in the impossible. But here's the thing. He's coming back, y'all. He's coming back, y'all. He's coming back. He's coming back for the church by the small arena. He's coming back for the ones that believe that God is the God of incredible possibility. There's nothing too hard for God. He's the God of impossible possibility. That's what he's coming back for the ones that believe it. He's coming back for the ones that, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, Trump had put this, he decided this executive order. I don't know what I'm going to do, Lord. I got to get to work. Gas prices too high. They told me if I don't come to work, they're going to fire me. Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do. Lord, eggs prices are high. Lord, I got kids. I got to pay my bills on. He ain't coming back for that. He's coming back for the ones that, yeah, Trump is in the White House, but yeah, that's okay. My God is my sword. Yeah, hands up, that's okay. My God is my sword. Yeah. Gas is hot, yeah, but my God is my sword. Yeah, Marina Woods going up, yeah, but God is my sword. Yeah. They talk about firemen on the top, that's okay, but God is my sword. He's a God of impossible possibilities. That's who he's coming back for. He's not coming back for ones that don't believe and trust in him. He's coming back for ones that believe that there's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing too hard for God. He's coming back for the ones that believe there's nothing too hard for God. That's what he's coming back for. He's coming back. So don't be like the Israelites when they left Egypt and they got to complaining and everything when they got to the Red Sea. They got to tell Moses, well, man, it's been all right. We could have went back there and been slaves, man. You got us out here, we're gonna die. See, we come to something that seems impossible. Now let's see the Red Sea seems impossible. It seems crossing that was impossible. But God is a God of impossible possibilities. What did he do? He parted the Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea. He can part your Red Sea also. If you believe and trust in him. So don't get to your Red Sea and get to complaining now. Don't get to your Red Sea. Oh Lord, I should have did. Nah, when you get to your Red Sea, you know that he's a God of impossible possibilities. Hey Lord, and see, don't get to your Red Sea and say, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Get to your Red Sea and say, Lord, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? He gonna come down.